Mesdames et messieurs, de mon pays natal, le Canada, nous fabriquons de la poutine de deux façons différentes. If it wasn't obvious from what you just saw, I said, ladies and gentlemen, from my homeland, we're making poutine. Two different ways. Because you got to have the traditional, proper poutine. You have to. And then we're going to make another version that you'll see when we get there. But I think you're going to like this. Look, as a kid growing up, fries with a side of gravy to dip them into was absolutely something that we did all the time. Restaurants were accustomed to asking, would you like a side of gravy with your fries? So poutine is a step up from that, adding cheese curds. But we'll get to that. But we'll start by making our fries. And oh, by the way, we're double frying them. We want them extra crispy. When they get the gravy and the cheese on top, they could sog out right away. We don't want that. Crispy, double fry, that's the way to go. And here we go. 2 regular everyday old Idaho potatoes. We do this, and then we peel. Nice and even, little bits left over are fine, but no gross parts. Get a good peeler if you don't have one. They're very useful, and they're not expensive. You don't want to peel everything first, because if you do, you're going to end up with them going brown. So try and go one at a time, and here's how this is going to work. We're going to cut like this into planks, and try and keep them fairly even. That was not even, Sam. What are you doing? It's okay. It's okay. Now that they're in planks, but I want little stubby guys, so I'm doing this. Remember, anything that we're putting in oil, we want to be the same size so they cook at the same time. Good, 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 good. And now these we're going to put into cold water to keep them from turning brown on us while the other ones are cut. And by the way, the extra starch will come off. You can already see the water starting to cloud slightly. So while I do the rest of these potatoes, I'm going to do 3 more. Max will play some fun music and make this interesting, because it's kind of boring. Oh, by the way, if you want to do them with skins on, do them with skins on. Remember, cooking is what you want, not just because I tell you. And we're there. Let me just clean up a bit and we can start frying. And of course, before we fry, we have to dry the potatoes because oil and water don't mix. We can't do all of them at once. Hence, they're sitting in water to be ready. So we'll take out about half, really let them drip as much as you can, and then put them on the paper towels. Separate them if they're stuck together. I'm excited already about how damn good these are going to be. I love fresh fries. Love them. Right, everybody's good. A little more blotting on top. And now, lads, we're ready to go to the fryer. So first into the basket. And then into 325 degree oil. We start at a lower temperature, get them going for 5 or 6 minutes, take them out. The second fry is when they get golden brown and crispy. So let them do their thing. And while they're doing their thing, hey, we might as well start some gravy for the poutine, huh? Our gravy begins with about a 1/4 cup of butter. We're gonna let this melt. We're starting with the roux. We've done this before. Boy, that sounded like my mother-in-law. We're starting with the roux. And when the butter melts, hello, hello butter, I'd like you to melt now. Oh, jeez. All right, I can't take it anymore. That's gonna melt in a second. So we'll now add about a 1/4 cup of flour. Remember, equal parts fat and flour. So 4 tablespoons. And we mix. And now, without major heat underneath this, we're just gonna let the We're just gonna let it cook out the raw flour taste, start to do its thing lovingly. Okay, so the Buzzer's gone off. We've done 6 minutes on our fries for the first fry. We'll bring them up, let them drain, and if you've just tuned in, no, they're not done. This is the first of 2 fries, 2 frying sessions. And when they've mostly dripped off, we'll put them on a baking sheet with a rack, put them on, spread them out a bit, put the other batch in. In they go, and they're down. Give these guys 6 minutes as well. Now back to our gravy. So poutine is traditionally made with either beef or chicken gravy. I find chicken gravy a little light, and I find beef gravy a little heavy. So I'm combining both. I'm gonna put a cup of each in. First the beef. One more. And then the chicken. We can now go to a whisk. We're gonna let this start to heat up. It's gonna thicken a little bit, but we're gonna help it by making a little cornstarch slurry. And that looks like this. So I've got like 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. I'm gonna add water to, and then mix. And then this is gonna go into our gravy parts as it starts to just come together and thicken a bit. We're gonna help our color a bit with a couple teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. Looks like 1 and 2. And when it starts to bubble a bit, come on man, I'm just asking for a little fucking bubbling. And this batch is ready. So same drill here. These guys are gonna drip. Get rid of most of the oil. And then they go right on your baking sheet. And now we finish our gravy. And with our gravy bubbling away, we'll take some of this cornstarch slurry, put about half in. See how that does. Again, right away it thickens it up. Wow, beautiful. So this is now up to you how thick or thin you like it. I lean more to the slightly thicker side. And we're there for me. Let's season with a little salt and pepper. Mix. Gorgeous. Suppose we should have a little taste, right? So let's. That's what I like. That, to me, is beautiful gravy. Oh, shit. I could just drink a freaking glass of that. But I'm not going to. I'm going to be reserved and hang on for the fries and the cheese curds. In fact, we can start our second fry. Might as well, right? Right, Max?
Right.
Right, Chance?
Right.
Right. And before we fry, we're just going to cook some bacon. It's very simple. Very simple. We'll gently put our first batch of Hey! God. I know. It's us. It's our fault for being here at this time. Anyway, so we're putting a batch of the fries that have only been cooked once in the fryer. Fryer's now at 370, and down we go. And all we're waiting for now is for the gardeners to stop and for these to get golden brown and crispy. This is probably gonna take 5 minutes. Hey, give them a little shake. A little more violent than that. There you go. And how's their color?
Nice. Blacker?
Just cook. Stand in the air conditioning. Nice. Getting there. Getting there. Okay, so the bacon is about 3/4 of the way done. I don't need all this grease, so I'll remove a bunch of it. And now we'll add one more thing for big flavor. Diced jalapeno. This is gonna be good. We'll let that soften. We'll check our fries. Not yet, Max. Chance, not yet. In England, they would say, we'll check our chips. Because that's what I have, chips.
Uh-oh, your English accent's coming out again.
Oh, yeah. And when they look like this and sound like this, you are so ready. So let them drip a second. Double frying, ladies and gentlemen, the way to go. When you've got most dripped off, put them in a bowl. Listen for the sound of tumbling rocks. A little kosher salt and pepper. Wow. Now we can play. Here's how we do this. We're gonna take our fries and load up our pan. It's like a perfect amount, huh? Wow. How good this is gonna be? It's gonna be insane. Okay, but now the important part, the cheese. Let me show you what we're using. My cousin Peter Zion owns, well, my favorite brewery in San Diego, a very, very successful one called AleSmith. They win awards all the time. Peter is a cheese aficionado and started Cheesesmith. And that's where I bought my cheese curds from. I asked Peter, tell me exactly what cheese curds are, and here's what he wrote. A cheese curd is formed when the milk solids are separated from the whey in cultured, coagulated milk. Drained and pressed, curds bind to make solid wheels of cheese. His simpler, unscientific description is a tiny piece of young cheese that tastes delicious and squeaks when you bite it. So, if you don't have cheese curds, because they're not always easy to find fresh, you could use white cheddar. So we're going to open up our pack of Cheesesmith cheese curds and take a bite to test its deliciousness. There's no way you can hear that. The bite squeaked in my mouth, between my teeth. It's still squeaking. The curds go on the fries. That should be obvious, right? If there was ever a time to get out of your old routines, it's now. If there was ever a time to start working on something you've dreamt about, it's now. The point is, if there was ever a time to start working on you, it really is right now. And this is precisely where Skillshare comes in. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. Look, you can explore new skills, develop existing interests, and you can get lost in creativity. And lately I've been following street photography by someone called Trash Hand, a Chicago photographer. What I like about it is they're like bite-sized lessons, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I can watch one, go back, watch it again. There's how to take street portraits, how to shoot night shots, how to capture motion, what nighttime lighting is like. Skillshare says they offer memberships with meaning. Look, you can connect with other people in the creative community about what you're doing, about what you want to do. It's really amazing. And what you have to do now is very simple. For a limited time, you can use the link in my description to get a free trial of a Skillshare Premium membership. I say at the very least, you sign up, get your free trial, and start scoping some of the thousands of classes. You're gonna find something you like. You might find that little spark that turns on a whole different part of your mind. Wouldn't that be a cool thing? All right, so let's put some cheese curds on top. And these are big ass pieces, Peter. I think I'm just gonna break some of them down a little bit. Oh, see, here's the thing. I'm smelling the gravy, I'm smelling the fries. I know what's gonna happen here. I know how these things are gonna be when they're done. And I cannot wait. So don't be cheap with the cheese because you want to get some in these bites. But the key to this, fresh hot fries, cheese curds that are squeaking in my mouth as I'm eating them, crazy, but hot gravy because it will start to melt the curds. And the gravy going on looks like this. Gravy, gravy. Oh, gravy on the fries, gravy on the curds. Gravy on everything. Take me back to my Canadian youth right now. It really is. Then a tiny bit more. Can't have too much gravy, can you? And then I'm always a fan of just a tiny bit more salt and pepper on top, like that. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a gorgeous cast iron pan of twice fried French fries, fresh cheese Smith cheese curds, and our homemade gravy. Half beef, half chicken broth. I would have picked up the most awkward fry to get in my mouth. Look. The squeaking is crazy. I will tell you this. It's a match made in food heaven. The noise in here, the gravy, is so good. And these twice cooked fries, get out of town, Jack. Amazing. But what did we say? We didn't promise one, we promised deux. Let's quickly finish off the bacon and the jalapeno, and then we'll add it to this for a second, very different, also most delicious poutine. Numero deux. Now that the jalapenos have softened beautifully, we add one more thing, and that's a shit ton of garlic, because this is going to do something beautiful to the top of our poutine and for the flavors. It's going to be strong, it's going to be amazing, it's going to be pungent, it's going to hit you in the mouth and the nose like it should. And that's now. Oh, shit. All right. This may be changing poutine lives everywhere. A little here, and that's it. Ah, hell. How about a little bit of that garlicky, bacony grease on top? Now we're talking. Now that's a poutine you can get behind. Look at, God. So do this. Get some of the nonsense, some of this goodness, and then get a. God damn it. Get a fry. And eat that fry with that nonsense and that curd. Before I eat this, just a reminder. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. We want to be your friends. Max told me to say that. You want to know how hot it is out here? It's this hot. We don't like it hot. We love this though. Wiki. No comparison. Oh my God. I didn't use the seeds from the jalapeno, so it's not that hot. But the bacon, and it's just way frickin' garlic forward. Oh, damn. Thank you. That one. Canadians will hate me for it, but that one, that's the one.